Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. I'm George Samuel. Here with me today, of course, is co-founder of The Gaggle, Peter Lavelle, host also of RT's talk show, Crosstalk. Well, yesterday in New York, a New York state court ruled that it's suspending Rudy Giuliani's law license. In other words, it's suspending his right to practice law. Rudy Giuliani is, of course, former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, a very famous prosecutor. He was a very famous mayor during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. However, he has, fallen out of favor with the powers that be for his work for the former president, Donald Trump. So we had about a month or so ago, the raid on his office and his home, where they seized all his electronic devices. That was for work that he had done for Trump.
Except for one device.
Except for one device, exactly, that pertaining to Hunter Biden's laptop. We know that during when he acted as Trump's attorney during the impeachment, he was being spied upon. His material that was on iCloud was being spied upon by U.S. prosecutors. And now his law license has been suspended. All of this was outrageous persecution because, whether people like what what Giuliani is claiming about the 2020 election or not, he is entitled to make those claims. For the courts to say, well, these are all untrue, unsubstantiating, and therefore, Giuliani is a public menace. It's absurd. There is something called the First Amendment. He has a right to pursue legal redress in the courts, and the courts are free to rule against him. But the idea of saying, well, now he's not fit to practice law is a total outrage. And it, serves to reinforce the impression that the United States is becoming like a third world country, which is you persecute and use the powers of the law against your political opponents after they've been defeated in an election. And it's very, very troubling.
Well, George, 3 words. Rules-based order.
Rules-based order, exactly.
Wow. I guess Tony Blinken wants to blanket the world with that, but not at home. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't target your political opponents in Russia, in Venezuela, in Cuba, in China. But right. In America, we're all right. Okay.
We're okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're all right. We're good to go. We're good to go. The rank hypocrisy of all of this, obviously, Giuliani is the most outspoken, well-known Trump advocate, particularly in the legal field. I don't think it's any coincidence here and this is a chilling effect. They can take Giuliani out. It sends a message to everybody else. Okay, don't defend the January 6th rioters. Okay, don't go on cable and defend or attack what the DOJ is doing. This is a chilling effect, and it is blatant violation of the First Amendment. I mean, this is egregious, and particularly since it's his profession. He has a privileged position, even if they are no longer working together. He knows a lot about Donald Trump. That is privileged. That is enshrined in law. It is privileged. And what they want to do is they want to trash the First Amendment, trash that privilege. And who knows what they want him to do? I mean, do they want him to compose, to sing? What do they want?
The target is Trump. Trump is the one they want to get at. They want to use Giuliani to get to him. But everything that Giuliani has done is entirely in accord with the First Amendment. I mean, whatever he did in Ukraine, let's say it's the worst. Oh, he was trying to dig up dirt on the Bidens in Ukraine. And he's entitled to do that.
And
that's covered by the First Amendment. You're entitled to information.
Were they digging up Trump dirt on Trump?
Right, exactly. And as for going to court and seeking legal redress, okay, courts are free to rule in your favor. They're free to rule against you. You don't get to lose your law license because you're pursuing aims in court that you don't like. I mean, what about, Mark Elias, the Democratic Party operative? He's constantly using the courts in order to score political points. That's what, politically connected lawyers do. You don't get to lose your law license for that. But that's what, you can see. This is the goal. The goal is to delegitimize any questioning of the 2020 election. So what happens? You're just driving into underground all of the people who are, basically have their doubts.
Look at Matt Gaetz. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the allegations? What are the allegations? Who are you talking about?
That's right.
I mean, all of the, you pollute the public sphere. Yeah. You smear someone completely, and then that person becomes toxic. Based on what evidence? Maybe Matt Gaetz is a really creepy guy. I don't know. But no evidence has been produced. Okay.
That's a very good example, because when you read news reports, like, Matt Gaetz, the alleged sex trafficker, what does that mean? Who alleged it? I mean, his political opponents allege it. Somebody leaked something from the DOJ, but no evidence is forthcoming. But what you've done is you've smeared the guy without providing any evidence whatsoever.
Didn't Al Capone get more legal protection?
Right. That's right. I mean, just say alleged. So apparently, you can make any allegation about somebody. Oh, well, he's a child predator, and now you're an alleged child predator because somebody or other, your political enemy, has accused you of being a child predator. This is rank injustice, just a way of smearing people. And they're now using the courts to do it. And if you read this decision by the court, it's a 33-page decision. You can see these judges are completely in the writing like Democratic Party operatives. The insurrection, the dangerous events of January the 6th that led to death and so on. They are questioning the credibility of President Biden. I mean, you just sound like Democratic Party operatives. You don't sound like judges. So, which I guess what they are.
I mean, a lot of these same Democrats never recognized that Donald Trump was president.
Exactly. Where apparently that was fine. That was fine for 4 years to refuse to recognize the 2016 election. That was okay. You got Pulitzer Prizes for making the most ludicrous claims. And making absurd challenges and whatnot. That was good to go. And I mean, who has been penalized for making use of the Steele dossier? That pile of steaming pile of garbage that was the Steele dossier. No one's been, I mean, the more we're finding out, the more horrific what the Steele dossier was. And the more we find, the more we're learning that the FBI knew very, very early on that it was a steaming pile of garbage, and yet they still continued to use that dossier in the FISA court.
And who leaked it? Ben Smith over at BuzzFeed. Right. Where is he now, George? Where is he now? He's at the New York Times. He fell forward, didn't he?
That's right.
Okay. It wasn't verified and it is unverifiable. Okay. Right. But no penalty there. No, you've said it many, many times here, and I think it's worth repeating, is why are they going after Giuliani? Because they know they do not want 2016 to ever happen again. Right. It's not about the Trump presidency at all. It's not about 2020. It's about 2016. This is what this is all about. And they are marshaling their forces with everything they possibly can. If it's going to be critical race theory, it's going to be deplatforming, it's going to be canceling people. It's all about what happened in November 2016. Yep. And they will never allow it. They will never let a populist uprising ever happen again.
Yep. That is what it's all about.
And I'm quoting you.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it. That's it. So they're going after Giuliani, going after everyone who was involved with Trump, and they can just tie you up in the courts because okay, now they've suspended his law license. Okay, now he's going to have to make an appeal to that, and then presumably whichever way that appeal goes, there'll be another appeal. In other words, just tie you up in court, forever. Some people, they've got money. Giuliani has money. But other people don't have money. And as we've learned, the people in January the 6th, the 500 people, more than 500, who are now facing criminal charges for the events of January the 6th, they don't have any money. And there, the government can exactly use the power of the state to crush its opposition because they don't have the financial resources to afford proper legal representation.
It was released. I saw news reports of it yesterday of the first defendant in the January 6th riots. It was a very mild, meek
granny,
a grandmother. And so George, January, February, March, April, May, June, for 6 months.
Right.
She was detained for 2 days. Her legal travails went on for 6 months, and she finally was convicted of parading. Which is something I learned yesterday that you could be charged for. So if walking up a flight of stairs, walking into a room, then walking downstairs, and she was trying to help a woman that was even older than she was to make sure she didn't fall, wanted to be a guardian, and then she walked out. And so for 6 months, what about somebody that walked around with a flag? Is that going to be a year?
Yeah, exactly. And you can really bully people because if you don't have a lawyer, you don't have proper legal representation, you're going to be stuck with state assigned attorneys. Well, these are state assigned attorneys in the DC courts. They all hate Trump, so they're not actually even on your side. And that's happened, and we know that even from what this woman was saying. Her attorney, her state assigned attorney, forced her to read a whole lot of books.
But we don't know if it was forced. Okay, I think there was a level of coercion.
Well, it's forced in the sense that you're not going to get a deal. Okay. I mean, in other words, look, the attorney said that you want to deal with the prosecutors, you have to read this, show that you have learned that you're a racist and that you're part of white privilege, and then I can go to the prosecutors and say, look, she has really learned her lesson. She's never going to do all that again. That's forced.
Do you know what Pol Pot would say? Bravo! Yeah. Bravo! Pol Pot is alive and well in DC.
It is, and of course it is. It is re-education. I mean, look, anyone you're looking at doing time, and then you're told, hey, well, the alternative to doing time is here's your book list, and then maybe there'll be some questions afterwards, so to show that you've actually learned the lessons of these books. And then maybe you can avoid doing time. Well, I mean, that is
for parading.
It's a coercion.
For parading.
Yeah.
What does it mean to parade, Joe? Do you know?
I have no idea. I mean, so she went, the point is she went into an open door. I mean, the door had been opened by the Capitol Police. So it's like, it's not like she broke into anything. I mean, as far as she
saw the Capitol Police chatting among themselves.
That's right. So as far as in other words, why would anyone even think that you're not supposed to enter the Capitol building? I mean, you think, hey, this is a public building. Why would you think, hey, I'm not allowed to go in because this is, this isn't a government laboratory. So well, you're not supposed to go in. This is the seat of government. People assume, well, it's open. It's open for business. I mean, it's like so. There was no reason for her to think that it was illegal even to go in for 5 minutes.
What does this come to, George? How did we get to this place? You're convicting grandmothers for parading.
Right. Yeah.
And in the same week, in the same news cycles, if you looted and arsoned and all that, just come on, don't wipe the slate clean, okay? Right. No hard feelings.
Right. Because there's no, they don't have the resources to pursue all of those people, but they do have
plenty of resources to go after grandma.
Yeah, exactly. These grannies and
the granny witch hunt continues. Yeah, I really wonder. I'm saying this to the DOJ and the FBI. Are you proud of yourselves?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You go home and brag?
Yeah, right.
You go out on the weekends and brag to your friends that
I mean, that's
you threaten to granny with a slammer until she re-educated us. Are you proud of that?
yes. I think that's a very good point. That that you're coercing poor people, people who really don't have very much money, and who are just terrified of having the government come after them. I mean, it's very, and I was thinking about that point you just made. Like the FBI, who kind of infiltrate all these groups, Facebook groups, and try to get them to involve in a terrorist act. I think, are you proud of preying on vulnerable people, who have financial pressures, on the psychological pressures? You proud of sort of pushing them into doing something stupid? What an absolutely disgusting way to make a living.
Really pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, as we live through the greatest transfer of wealth upward, okay, I suppose this is important stuff to them. Okay, we need systemic change. We need real change. Going after Granny, going up a flight of stairs, guiding and guarding a woman older than her.
Right.
The way I was brought up, that was a virtuous act, George. But
Right.
apparently, it's called parading.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna follow what's going on with Rudy Giuliani, because it's really important, because he epitomizes this dragnet that George and I have been talking about for the last 6 months here. So we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're on locals, and so that means you can type in thegaggle.locals.com. We started, I guess in the last week or so, we're doing one-on-one chats with fellow gagglers. Go to the page, you can find out how to do it. We've done a couple already, a lot of fun. Jared, Jonathan, thank you very much. We had a good time. And we look forward to talking to more people. And believe it or not, George and I will have questions for you, because we're actually
we love learning things, and we already learned a lot from our discussion. So we're really excited about this. We're on Rumble. Look us up on Rumble. And remember, if you like the gaggle, please like, share,
and there's a tip jar.
That's it. A tip jar. Any tip would be most appreciated. See you soon. Bye.